All right, here are my thoughts on that movie. Don't Look Up. Um, as far as comedy, um, I thought it was pretty funny in some ways. Satire, but it was also sad because it was like people actually act like that, and people are very ignorant to truth, and ignorant is bliss. The whole thing, and it's very sad. But however, here's my thoughts on the whole movie. Being a Christian, from adhering to the biblical view of the world and how things are actually going to end. Um, so if you could tell, or as doing extra research, of kind of like the foundations of the story from Adam McKay and the other guy who made up the story, it was about kind of like pushing the idea of climate change. They were kind of using it as a metaphor for that, as it could be a coming catastrophe, ending catastrophe to mankind and the whole world. But they've been pushing climate change for a while now. And as a Christian, I know nearing the end times, Jesus said that all these plagues, pestilences, increase in weather, earthquakes, um, hail, or I don't know, just all kind of like these things that are going on across the world now. That so called, they claim it, oh, it's just a result of climate change. Um, and to an extent, yes, humans or mankind, we have been destroying the planet, um, just by dumping trash and into places where it shouldn't go and not dealing with our trash properly. It's like even when I go, you know, put something in a recycling bin versus the trash, I'm even thinking, I'm like, this kind of seems like an illusion, compared to what I found out of like how even even the US will, you know, pay to give their trash, our trash, um, to India or China, the countries that don't have regulatory laws in place about pollution and whatnot, because they just dumping the stuff right into the ocean. It's been seen, it's been documented. Yeah, so when I go to these trash bins and decide whether to throw in a recycling bin, I'm like, hey, this honestly doesn't really matter, um, because I just have a feeling, and from what I found out, I feel like ultimate, they don't really deal with the trash properly, recycling nor regular trash. So anyway, I know climate change is just like a front, as you will, to give another reason to why there's this sudden increase in all this weather and just stuff as described in the Bible. Is God showing it as a nearing towards the end time? These are the signs. Given it is not the end yet, it is. We are not in the tribulation yet, but given these signs, we can tell we are nearing the end. We are nearing um, the moment where the tribulation begins, and then that's when we can really call it. Hey, we are literally in the end, as described. So yeah. Now going back to the movie, think about also the concept of those people at the end who, the elites who got off the planet at least, and 20 some thousand years later they land on another Earth like planet. However, you could tell that they were going to cause the same problems on that planet that they did right here, that mankind has caused right here. You know why? because the problem is just always been within mankind. We are fallen from the jump, having the knowledge of evil is not good. Um, we sin. We are sinners. In our blood, like in our nature, we are fallen. We are tampered. We are tampered with creation that needs redemption, that needs salvation, and that's only through Jesus Christ. Now, think about at the end when they get off the planet, they were still the same people. They were still the same wicked human beings, especially the elite. They like adhere to wickedness. They adhere to the agenda of Satan and go along with it knowingly. You could call them straight up wicked. So, guess what? It doesn't matter. See, Elon Musk, so dumb. Like, as smart as he is, I think he's completely foolish for trying to go populate Mars. Like, as it's a, like, who cares? Like, dude, Earth is our home. Earth has always been our home. Like, dude, I don't know anybody who wants to go live on Mars, like, and think that that's like a primary goal, Like, well, there's obviously people who think it's cool, but just think about it, dude. Like, I don't want to go live on Mars. Not a chance. And if the Earth is gonna end, right here, I'm gonna be there. Well, I know we will be saved. Those people who put their trust and their entire faith and wholeheartedly in Jesus Christ, those people will be saved. So, I don't know. These are just some little thoughts on the whole movie and what they're trying to push. And Leonardo was a big pusher of climate change, which is, you can imagine why he was probably one of the first actors selected for the movie. And also, yes, in the end times, in the Bible, Book of Revelation, it does describe a celestial body. Basically, they describe it as a mountain that will impact the earth, hitting the seas. Maybe a third part of the seas and a third part of the land or something like that. But anyway, it doesn't kill the whole earth. It doesn't wipe out the earth enough. That would be too much grace, in a sense, if you know what I mean. People are going to suffer in these end days. It's not going to be wiped out like that. Like a third of the water, a third of the rivers and the drinking waters become poisonous as a result of this, mountain. And it's funny because the Bible calls this meteor, comet, or mountain Wormwood, which has been a well-known, even in the scientific or astrological community, the term wormwood has been closely associated with Nibiru, or Planet X, or whatever that is out there. So yeah, and it's just funny how constantly Satan throughout time has been using movies, and they've been using music to kind of do a twisting of the truth, It's kind of like they always trying to slightly confuse and twist the truth. And if you think about it, also, the one kid in the movie who was somewhat a Christian, the guy's name was Yule. I'm still talking about the movie Don't Look Up. Yule, he was raised evangelical. But now once not once in all of his prayers did he use the name Jesus Christ. That's how you call out to the Father, is through the name Jesus Christ. Um, Now, but you nevertheless, at the end table where they're all eating dinner, this is the only kid that still has a remaining peaceful look on his face. I don't know if they purposely did this but I'm kind of just like reading into it, that's kind of funny. You see everybody's face, when the house was rumbling, and it goes into slow mo. Everybody's face is like worried, like scared because they know it's coming. And then the kid Yule's face, he had like a slight peaceful smile on his face. Um, but nevertheless, he still never called out to the Father by the name of Jesus Christ. So I don't know. It's just my thoughts, on that old movie, and what they might be trying to push through it. Putting some truth there, but twisting it to not to the truth, and just by looking up, like I said, by looking up what the actors and the directors and some other guy who wrote the story with them, they were basically pushing climate change. And nevertheless, I was not surprised by that because Leonardo DiCaprio was actually a huge pusher of climate change in these recent years. So yeah, not surprised. And like I said, this is just perspective from a Christian, born again Christian, who adheres to biblical concepts and biblical prophecy. Yeah, that's it.